Motor Speedway. They're lean, they're mean, they're 5 to 7 horses, a man and machine. They're 4 wide before they start to slip and slide. The Coast to Coast Racing League 350A Modifieds, Pro Late Models, and the 360 Sprint Cars.
We are live on the Coast to Coast Racing Network. I'm Zach Chapman with ShaggyTV. And we are ready to bring you part 1 of 2 here, Hometown Heroes at the Knoxville Raceway, presented to you by none other than Flatline Racing Bodies. Flatline Racing Bodies, an absolute staple of the Coast to Coast Racing League. And man, they've been here for a long time. Don't know where we'd be without the gang, but I know we do have a man who last week, you know, he had a meeting. He was a little busy, but Blake Chapman, he is here. Hometown track, he's ready to play. Dino brought out the gold machine. He wanted to make sure everybody sees that thing tonight. No excuses. He's going to be shining. When we click the lights on is that 79 of Dean Reynolds. Right behind him is his teammate Anthony Morano. You guys, you know, you may not want to take my word for it, so I'll show you who it is. Right, entering turn 1 back behind. We got the man out of New York, Jeff Barker, the Brewerton Beast. Sammy Bachman slinging it into turn 1 there. Sam Bachman will definitely be a guy to keep your eye on here throughout the night. Let's see. Nobody else on the racetrack in this room. Only 1 or 2. Excuse me. Scott was on the racetrack. I was cheating. I was looking over at another monitor. I wasn't watching. Scotty definitely out here getting a little playtime in. Brandon Templeton out there on the racetrack as well. Terry Landis just jumped out there, the man out of Desert Hot Springs. I could be wrong, but I believe that's, I don't know if that's California, maybe Arizona, who knows. Terry can be mad at me about it later. B-Temp running the bottom right in front of him. Brandon Templeton. Hop back over, let's see. Okay, this is the top room. Never mind. Maybe only 2 rooms. So we got most of the action going on over here. We got Bard out here. William Watson in the 23 machine. Let's see who else we got. My dad going to come out and play for a little bit. Now, you know, maybe don't expect too much out of him. He's probably just trying to keep this thing straight, stay out of people's way. But and he's had a lot more play time here as of recent, so he's going to start dabbling on the dirt side of things, I think. Gavin Chatham out here doesn't even have a lap in yet, the 99. This won't be the first one either. This is just coming to the stripe here for the 99. So after this, we'll get to see what kind of times the man is running, what kind of speed the 99 actually has here. And these will be, you know, kind of a more accurate time too. I mean, we're not going to have the original slick, or, you know, real green grippy racetrack. Lap times are going to fall off, and you see Gavin Chatham a couple tenths ahead of my pops there, P18. But when we go to last times around, see Gavin with a 19.47, a lot of other guys in the 19.3s, 4s as well. The racetrack just has slowed down. It's going to be a product of what's going to happen. Bachman as well. I mean, he's a guy I told you, keep your eye on him. He's running a 3.5 right now. So if you can run the mid-19s, you're going to be okay. That's not a terrible pace. We'll have to see what they do here as we inch closer to 7 o'clock. We'll probably get ready to fire this thing off any minute because I think some of the guys, and there, yeah, see, there we go. Some of the guys got some, there's a big Knoxville Nationals race going on in another league, so some of the guys maybe a little short here in the second race. Some of the guys going to try to go over and run that. Still should get a pretty good showing here. See who pulls out on the racetrack first. Okay, what do I tell you? It's always Brandon Templeton. But look at this. Just right ahead of him, Ryland Banks. But now, man, they're like almost identical. I think Ryland, yeah, he'll beat him to the line. So we're going to stay with Ryland here, lap number 1. That's that in itself, beating Brandon Templeton out for the first man in qualifying, is something special. So we'll have to see if it translates to time here for the 76. As Ryland Banks rolls off of 4 here, we'll set to take, or click in lap number 1, excuse me. It's going to look pretty good there, 19.37. Anthony Morano barely edges him out. William Watson now to the top of the time charts, 19.25. The only man in that 19.2 bracket. Let's see if William Watson can improve here second time around. And shame on me. We'll turn it back on now. I turned that off the other day, and I knew I'd forget to turn it back on. I did. You can see the green sector times now on the bottom, and we'll change that away from last time to best time. You see Blake Chapman come across the line, P4 with a 19.32. I mean, look at second through, 11th. You're talking 600ths of a second, and Blake Chapman just jumps up to P2. Faster second time around. The Preacher parking himself P2. Clay Christopherson doing the typical going to roll around slow kind of lap. coming in P20, and Gavin Chatham wraps it up 17th. We do have 21 drivers in the session. Chad Lackey doesn't look like going to put in a time, so we'll have 3 heats, 7 drivers apiece. We'll take a look at the starting grid. Heat race number 1, rounding out the field, the 37 of Tim Chapman. Row 3 to the high side, the 161 of the Desert Demon, Terry Landis. To the inside, Mr. Excitement in the 16, Matt Barber. Row 2 to the top shelf, the 23 of Your Quick Time, Bart William Watson. To the inside, the 444 of Scotty Rayone. Row 1 for heat race number 1. Winner will start on the pole here this evening. To the inside, or to the outside, the 122 of Brian Dickens. And starting on the pole, the 76 of Ryland Banks. Have to see what's in store for us, how it's going to go. I told you can see him kind of pacing at the back. This is a learning experience for that 37. I'm glad he's out here. I've been trying to itch him to do it. You know, you might as well. This is, I preach it all the time, and he can be the example here. This is a place to learn, you know. We have the I rating cap for a reason. If you're out there watching, wondering, hey, is this league right for me? Well, you know. Are you trying to learn? Are you trying to get better? Are you trying to do it in an environment that we try to keep pretty cancer-free here? Positive, try to nip those bad attitudes in the bud, as they say. But let's see, I think it's a great place to play, and Knoxville Raceway is as well. And we got 6 laps to do it here. Heat race number 1 is the green flag's high. It's ready to fly. Leaders rub. And man, oh man, it's interesting right away here as we dive off into 1. Ryland Banks on the inside. Brian Dickens trying to take that dirt track bank 122 around the top shelf here. He's got a lot of momentum. Let's see what he can do off the 4. Brian Dickens is going to have it at the line. Oh, shuts the door on the 76. He was still there. Ryland going to lose a spot. Now all of a sudden, Your Quick Time here. William Watson darts to the bottom here. We got another race for the lead. William Watson, can he will that 23 around on the bottom? The answer is no for now. Going to have to go back to work as Ryland Banks tried to get to the outside. A little contact. That allows Scott Rayome in the 444 to try to sneak underneath. They're side by side through 3. Coming off of 4, still side by side. Ryland Banks with a big run off the top shelf. Give it to Ryland at the line. But Scotty with the preferred entry here. And now Banks swinging it back off the top. They are rubbing, man. This has been fun to watch. Ryland Banks now trying to do a little crossover after the slide job from Scotty. Give it to Ryland at the line. 2 to play at the Knoxville Raceway. Brian Dickens leads the way. All of the action going on behind him. And William Watson has once again Scott Rayome to the bottom. Can't get the slide job. And now Matt Barber, Mr. Excitement, looking for a little piece of the action with white flag in the air. Half a mile to go here. One more time to play. Final time through 3 and 4. William Watson trying to see if he can get a run. But no time as the checkered flag flies. Brian Dickens wins heat race number 1, followed by William Watson, Ryland Banks, Scott Rayome, Matt Barber, Terry Landis, and Tim Chapman. Try to take a look here. Starting grid, heat race number 2. Rounding out the field, the 051 of Putt Putt Clay Christopherson. Row 3 to the outside, the 99 of the Dark Knight Gavin Chatham. To the inside, the 31 of B-Temp Brendan Templeton. Row 2 to the outside, the Preacher. In the 20, Blake Chapman. To the inside, the 32 of the Ant-Man, Anthony Morano. Row 1 for heat race number 2. Winner going to start on the outside of the front row for tonight's A main to the top shelf, the 055 of Mr. Wednesday Night, Brian Moore Sr. And to the inside, starting on the pole, the 79 of Dean Reynolds. What's going on out there tonight, Butters? See Butters out there. Let us know who you're rooting for here as we'll go around one more time. Plenty of gossip time in between here. You can also yell at me if I sound too loud, if I sound too soft, if the cars sound too loud. Because I'm always playing around. Now, I love this broadcasting. You'll never hear me complain. But, boy, you know, I think people like me so much. I've been getting a lot of offers. So I've been going from dirt car to dirt car. And I'm going to have to do a better job of kind of figuring out how to organize sound settings. It's something that I've never really had to mess with. You know, just going back and forth from sprint cars to stuff like that. But now it's getting a little more serious. So have to be smarter about this, work a little less harder. As the green flag's high, it's ready to fly. We've got 6 laps to play at the Knoxville Raceway. Dino trying to slide up in front of the 055. Mr. Wednesday Night here. Maybe thinking about just, hey, do I hold on to the outside? I mean, it looked like that's what was dominant in Heat 1, but maybe that's a little too high as the salesman, Blake Chapman, almost got in the middle, 3 wide. Can the preacher work his magic here? Slip that buttery machine up into P3. As Anthony Morano works the bottom, he's able to edge in front of Brian Moore Sr. for the moment. But can he get up there and shut the door? Yes, he can through 1. And FTM 1-2. We're 4 laps to go. Clay Christopherson started at the tail. Putt-Putt trying to race his way on up here. But he's doing it beside his teammates, so he's got to be nice here. Gavin on the high side. They got almost a side-by-side battle in front as Blake Chapman looks to the bottom. Brandon Templeton maybe thinking about diamonding off a 2 here, getting run to the inside. You see him try to dive that green 31 to the bottom. Can't do it. Not enough grip. Falls back in line, and now Brian Moore Sr. thinking about taking a bite at the apple here. Can he go at the battle for P2? Brian Moore Sr. able to work up beside the Ant-Man as they roll through 3 and 4. We're going to see that white flag wave, 1 to play. Oh, he shuts the door on Blake Chapman. The preacher trying to swing it up high through 1. Can't do it. Sees a bunch of that rear end of the 055, but we've got 1 lap to, or now half a lap to go for Dino as we roll through 4 for the final time. Checkered flag waves. Dean Reynolds wins heat race number 2, followed by Anthony Morano, Mr. Wednesday Night, Blake Chapman, B-Temp, Gavin Chatham, and Putt-Putt. Get ready to take a look. Starting grid. 3rd and final heat race here for the 358 Modifieds. Chad Lackey rounds out the field on the inside of row 4. Row 3 to the top shelf, the 7 of Bob DeGood. To the inside, the 513 of the Brewerton Beast, Jeff Barker. Row 2 to the top shelf, the 218 of Superman, Kurt Schatzer. To the inside, the 110 of Kelly Wheeler. Row 1 for heat race number 3 to the high side, the 007 of Sammy Bachman. And starting on the pole, the 56 of Randy Shreves. Have a feeling there may be no Chad Lackey in this one, so iRacing was waiting on him to grid, but I don't think he's coming. And we'll pace around 2 laps and get ready to go. Finish the final heat. We'll take a short break after this, go to warm-ups. We'll go out and do some feature racing here. Is Randy Shree's going to take that 56 and start on the pole. Winner of this race starts P3. Couldn't tell if Bob the Good maybe had a little bit of a hiccup back there in that Kubota number 7. Sam trying to work in that top side. Kurt Schatzer doing it as well. Monkey see, monkey do for the top 2. There on the high side. Now we'll have to see if Randy Shrees can hold on here. Maybe take one out of the Dean Reynolds playbook. Started on the pole. Try to finish there. As we roll through 3 and 4, you see the Steve King Foundation pace car pull off. The green flag's high. It's ready to fly. We've got 6 laps to play at the Knoxville Raceway. Oh, Randy Shreves couldn't complete the slide job on the 007. Sam Bachman strung it to the top shelf. And now Sammy B, can he drive it in there one more time all the way up where Mama hides the cookies? And boy, oh boy, he's got it at the line here. Going to crowd Randy down. Say, remember me. I remember what you did to me. Now Superman thinking about making it 3 wide here. Took the cape off. Going to stick to the basement here. Not going to try to fly through 3 and 4. And it may come back to haunt him here. Kelly Wheeler now to the top shelf. As Kurt Schatzer right back down to the bottom. Kelly Wheeler going to power around that top shelf. Put Kelly Wheeler up into 3rd here as we enter 3. Superman trying to slide up in front of the 110. He does. Kelly cutting back underneath, but now Superman in the preferred line. As they beat and bang going into 1. We're halfway, 3 to play. Randy Shreves trying to go back at Sammy Bachman, but the battle on behind. Kelly Wheeler now to the inside. Superman up top. Got a big run off that top shelf. Got the cape flapping. And gives Superman P3 back with 2 laps to go here. 1 mile left at the Knoxville Raceway. Sam drives it in, looking comfortable through 3 and 4. Just going to hit that slider line. Exit off that top cushion. White flag in the air. 1 lap to go. And you got to think the way they're running may be the way they're going to finish here, as we're all strung out single file. As long as there's not a big move. No Hail Marys here. Final time through 3 and 4. Everybody behaves. Sam Bachman waves and grabs the checkered flag. Randy Shreves, P2. Kelly Wheeler, 3rd. Kurt Schatzer, 4th. Jeff Parker, 5th. Bob DeGood, 6th. And Chad Lackey rounds out the field. Now we'll take a short break. We'll be right back here before we go feature racing at the Knoxville Raceway. Stick around. We are back live on the Coast to Coast Racing Network. About that time to go here for 25 laps at the Knoxville Raceway. May only be 20, but I think it's 25 laps. Either way, big half-mile racetrack, plenty of time to get a pass done, try to make a move. As Kelly Wheeler, top dog here in warm-ups, Kurt Schatzer, Brian Dickens, your top three. Good laps there out of those guys. We'll have to see if it translates to a good feature finishing spot. As we take a look here, starting grid. Let's get our cameras set up here. And let's take a look. 21 drivers set to take the green flag. Not sure here if we'll have Lackey or not, but he rounds out the field inside of row 11, row 10 to the top shelf, the 051 of Putt Clay Christopherson to the inside, the 37 of Tim Chapman. Row 9 to the outside, the 7 of Bob DeGood to the inside, the 99 of the Dark Knight, Gavin Chatham. Row 8 to the outside, the 161 of the Desert Demon, Terry Landis to the inside, the 513 of the Brewerton Beast, Jeff Barker. Row 7 to the outside, the 31 of B-Temp, Brandon Templeton to the inside, Mr. Excitement, Matt Barber. Row 6 to the outside, the 110 of Kelly Wheeler to the inside, the Preacher in the 20, Blake Chapman. Row 5 to the high side, the 444 of Scott Rayome to the inside, the 218 of Superman, Kurt Schatzer. Row 4 to the outside, the 055 of Mr. Wednesday Night, Brian Moore Sr. to the inside, the 76 of Ryland Banks. Row 3 to the top shelf, the 56 of Randy Shreves to the inside, the 32 of the Ant-Man, Anthony Morano. Row 2 to the top shelf, the 23 of Bart William Watson to the inside, the 007 of Sammy Bachman. Row 1 for your Flatline Racing Bodies 358 Modified Feature Event at the Knoxville Raceway to the high side, the 79 of Dean Reynolds, and starting on the pole, the 122 of Brian Dickens. As we roll into 3 and 4 here for the final time, we're going to post up at the start-finish line. You know how I like to do it by now. Green flag is high. It is set to fly. We have 25 laps to play in the clay at the Knoxville Raceway. Green flag waves and we're underway. Dino trying to swing that high side, use up that momentum to get to the early lead. He does. He needs this thing to stay green. Wants to get to the line as the leader. Excuse me, as you're going to hear me hiccup. Nothing I can really do about that. Oh, man, that's great. First hiccup session in 3 years, I think, as the battle is on at the Knoxville Raceway. Sammy Bachman. Oh, man, I'm never going to live this down, guys. I know it. But I'm going to tough through it. Oh, man, no, we're going to get a caution flag. Oh, man, and then I burped there after the hiccup. Oh, it just gets worse. But, man, nothing worse here than what happened to Matt Barber. He is just minding his own business in the 16. We're going to go up top here. And you can see they've already kind of started bouncing around. He keeps Scott Rayome straight. Sends him down to the inside. Then he gets a shot from Gavin. And he just, man, oh man, barely able to keep it off those two. But that is the wave for the caution flag. And he's going to be one of the guys, paying the price here. He'll have to fall back to the back. You see Randy Shreves there. He had to come down pit road. Some damage on that thing. No, my apologies here. Everyone can pick on me about it later, but they haven't come back. We are going to hold our breath here for 30 seconds. So I am here. I'm going to try to get these hiccups to go by us. As the lights are still on anyway, we're not going back. So mind the quiet here for just a second. All right, we'll see if that's gonna do it. We'll hope it's gonna do it. Cause we got lots of racing here left to go, and I don't need to be hiccuping through the whole thing. 76 of Ryland Banks, though, man. Look at how good that thing looks. Try to get well, it's gonna be my interview camera here, so we'll get some zoom looks. But whoever painted that 76, man, good looking scheme. For the 76 of Ryland Banks. I love that pink and blue combination, I guess we'll call it. It was on the bubbly sprint car here at the Knoxville Nationals. I'm going to say 2 years ago. I can't remember who ran that thing. But the green flag set the wave. We're back underway. Dino drops the hammer, and we're off into turn one. But good jump there for the Ant-Man, Anthony Morano. Not too sure what happened to Dino, but he's going to lose 2 spots, and Dino hung out to dry. Man, oh man, Dino going to hang his head and cry unless we get a caution before we get to the line. He loses 2 spots. Rough start for the 79, and Brian Dickens looking to add 1 more to the tally here. As Sam Bachman says, no, I'm going to get to the high side. You want to take a peek on the bottom, bite off more than you can chew. I'll be up here when you're choking down there on the bottom. And look at the 007. He does, just like the flue in the chimney, man, choking him off there, coming off the corner. But Dickens gets a little wide, gives him an elbow. And Sammy, man, he's not going to forget that one. The 007 now diamonds to the inside here is Dean Reynolds. Trying to swing back up on the high side, get a run on his teammate. We're battling all over the racetrack. Let's take a look. Scott Rayome to the inside of Brian Moore Sr. as they're 3 wide just up ahead. Kurt Schatzer in the middle. The Preacher saying a prayer down on the bottom. And Ryland Banks wheeling and dealing on that high side in the 76. He comes out on top, holds off the 2 for now. But Blake Chapman still coming back hard on the bottom. The Preacher, man, he's singing a hymn downstairs here at the Knoxville Raceway. Dean back up to the high side, trying to work around the 32 of Anthony Morano. But at the same time, you can see throws that slider line in a little bit. Kind of getting defensive, not too worried about the front 2. He's maybe just trying to hang on to 3rd. For the moment, because these boys out front are playing. Anthony Morano swinging hammers down there on the bottom, coming out of 4. Can't find the grip, drives it in deep to 1 and 2. Can't throw the slide job. His teammate Bart Watson coming back on the high side. Bart trying to take a big bite here, swings it in deep into 3. He knows he's got to be able to shut the door here. Caution flag flies. The caution flag flies. 1 more time here at the Knoxville Raceway. Seeing Bob the Good, maybe Mr. Excitement, Matt Barber involved in this as well. Let's see if we can take a look. So Bob right now in the middle, 3 wide. He comes up the racetrack, just catches the 56 of Randy Shreves, and he tried to lock it up, but when he did, Matt Barber was there. And, well, the 2 try to make a midget sprint car there and going down the backstretch, and not sure if they succeeded, but we did succeed in the second caution flag of the race, and now, well, we have a minute or 2 here. Let's look. So Who's the hard charge, you ask? Shouldn't be a surprise. Clay Christopherson started on the back row. 20th. Up 8 spots here. It's that 51 machine. Always a big mover. He's got his teammate trying to catch a toe behind him. Gavin Chatham up 4 spots. Randy Shreves with the tough break here. He started up in 6th. Falling down to 16th after the damage there on the first caution. Needed to go down and pit, do a quick repair. But he's still in this thing. Anything could happen. You can't count the 56 of Randy Shreves out of this thing just yet. We still have plenty of time to figure out how to go get something done here. So don't write off your favorite driver just yet if they're not inside that top 5. Anything, and I mean anything, I've seen it. Anything can happen, and we're about to go play. We still got 15 laps left at the Knoxville Raceway. We're back underway. Dean Reynolds trying to hold off that 122. He gets a shot from Ryland Banks. Ryland unsettles that dirt track bank machine. And I know Ryland trying to be aggressive there. You can't blame him, but at the same time, when you get back in the back of that guy, that's maybe costing you a spot because you're creating a traffic jam. And now he's going to try to follow Dino here. 4 wide. Blake Chapman on the bottom. Sam Bachman, Ryland Banks, Brian Dickens. Oh, there's no give here. Go down the backstretch. The Preacher slams the brakes on the bottom. Oh, man, pure insanity is there. Almost 5 wide behind. Scott Rayom pinched there. Gavin Chatham thought about going back down on the bottom. Couldn't do it. Couldn't find the grip, and I believe now Brandon Templeton in the wall hard. We're back under caution here for the 3rd time at the Knoxville Raceway. And, man, this started earlier than the software wants to give credit for. We had kind of seen it kicking off at the top of the screen here. He's just driving it up top here off of 4, off of 2, excuse me. Let's see if he gets any help. It's looking like the 110 of Kelly Wheeler maybe going to be that guy giving him a little help. Brandon, then nothing he could do. And there is a big line of cars behind him. Matt Barber involved again. That may write off that 16. That was a big-time shot there on the right front. We'll have to see. Definitely worthy there of the 3rd caution of the evening. Randy Shreves also involved. He had to go down pit road. He already used up that quick repair, so tough break for the 56 of Randy Shreves. William Watson still the dog out front, though. Can he hold off Anthony Morano? These caution flags have been helping. We're due for a green flag run. We'll have to see if we get one here to close this thing out. Lights should go off on the racetrack this time by. With it being the 3rd caution, I think we'll stay single file here. It may double up. Going to stay single file. So the lights are off on the Steve King Foundation pace car, and we'll go back green this time by. Can FTM hold on to the top 3 spots? Ignore your leaderboard there. It's got Matt Barber a lap ahead. I can assure you he's not. He's sitting on pit road. As the green flag is set to wave, we're back underway at the Knoxville Raceway. 12 laps to play. So 6 miles here in Iowa to get it done. Plenty of time in a dirt car. But you're going to have to be smart about it. You're going to have to be efficient in your moves. And Anthony Morano trying to do just that. Looks to the bottom through 3 and 4 before Williams up this full song yet. And he's got a fender to the inside of that 23. Swings it back down low on the bottom. Give Morano the lead in the center of the corner. But Williams fighting back off that top shelf. So much steam. Can the freight train keep it up top? He is rolling up top, William Watson. But, man, the longer we go, the more it's going to grow on the bottom. And Anthony Morano to the lead. As we enter 3, we may have a new leader this time by coming off of 4. Anthony Morano, give it to him at the line. Back down here trying to seal the deal off of 2. The Ant-Man is your new leader. Dean Reynolds trying to work the bottom as well, but he's got a mirror full of his teammate. Sam Bachman trying to do the same thing here to Sammy. Maybe move the 007 out of the way, or are we going to behave here? Superman Kurt Schatzer goes around on the entry to turn 1. Let's see if we can figure out what happened here. It's looking like he may get a little bit of help. Scott floats up. Maybe just didn't know Superman was there. Tried to straighten it up, cut the wheel a little too hard, and just going to go around on the entry to 1, and we're back under caution here at Knoxville. There we are. They were playing hide and go seek with me. I didn't know what part of the racetrack they were in. I was trying to just click to my still cameras and wait on them. They're doing a good job of just sneaking around out there. Those lights are still on. Should click off, though, this time by. And we'll have 7 laps to finish up the deal here at the Knoxville Raceway. Not what you want to see happen if you're Blake Chapman or Ryland Banks. You know, you got those 4 teammates in front of you. And with these cautions, that's just going to help them lock this up even more. Count down those restarts for each other, kind of set the pace here. And it'll take 2, maybe 3 laps for Blake to really develop a run and try to work on Sam Bachman. He needs this thing to stay green here if he wants to spoil the FTM top 4 here in Iowa. Steve King Foundation pace car set to pull off. The green flag is high. Anthony drops that hammer. We're back underway at the Knoxville Raceway. 7 laps to play. Thanks to the outside. Got a good jump there on the salesman. Blake Chapman already got him here. Blake now going to lose 1 to the restart. He's going to stick down low on the bottom where he's comfortable as William Watson up high. They're watching Anthony Morano walk away with this thing here at Knoxville. Dino trying to work that middle bottom there, about a half a lane up from his teammate Sam Bachman. Sam, if he could get there, would love to try to inch the nose underneath the 79. Just can't find the run, and there's 5 laps to go. Battle still on for the middle podium spot. It's between 2 teammates, but Dino not letting that 23 machine of William Watson go to the inside here through 3 and 4. But William, big run off the top shelf, and he's got it for now as Gavin Chatham here. He was on the bottom of a 3 wide. Brian Moore Sr. in the middle. Scotty Rayob, his teammate on the top shelf here. Scott going to get by the 2 for now. Gavin on the bottom trying to rely on all that grip that he saw Anthony Morano use to get to the lead. Gavin Chatham gets by Brian Moore Sr. This is 2nd through about 7th. I mean, they are all right there. Anything could happen. But as we see 2 sticks in the air, popsicle sticks, man, 2 to play. 1 mile left here at the Knoxville Raceway. Dean Reynolds trying to shield off that final podium spot here. Can he hold on? He's got his teammate right beyond, and a hungry, starving Blake Chapman back there in 5th. But with the white flag displayed, we've got one more trip around here in Knoxville. Anthony Morano drives it down the backstretch for the final time. The Ant-Man started 5th, but gonna finish where he's most comfortable. Top step of the podium here at the Knoxville Raceway. FTM 1, 2, 3. Morano, Watson, Reynolds, Sam Bachman 4th, and Blake Chapman rounds out the top 5. But an FTM podium here, 1 through 4. It's gonna have the gang pretty excited here. Good kick. Good way to start the night here for your Flatline Racing Body's Hometown Heroes. We'll see if we can't let these guys maybe catch their breath for a minute or two, and then we'll pull them up here. I'll let Dino mosey his way on up here. I could grab him if I wanted to, but, you know, like I say, man, he probably wants to get that drink. Talk to Buddy real quick. Let Buddy know how he did. Then we'll see if we can't get a word with that driver who finished 3rd, Dean Reynolds. There he goes. He's up here. He's probably saying something to them, so I'll wait about 3 more seconds. We'll pull him up. And now we got him. Dino, man, I'll tell you, I don't know what happened, man, but you're in the lead going to that restart. Just a little fumble there through 1 and 2, and if not for that, man, yeah, it would have been tough to get around. Yeah, I think you definitely had speed, but just tough to pass.
No, what happened was, Shaggy, I went too early. I made the start zone, and then I got this darn single screen, and I said the opening in turn 4 is the start zone, and I went way early, and I said, guys, I can't, I'm not going to jump the start. I'm not going to take the lead. I said, Bart, go ahead and take the lead. So I gave the lead up, and then Anthony got below me in the morning, in the bottom. I always said I'm not going to win by walling somebody in the last corner, last lap, and I felt like that wasn't right, and I wasn't going to throw a yellow for it because that's going to screw up everyone else's race. So I just gave the lead up because that was my fault.
And you know, Dean, I respect you for that because you know it's tough to tell from where I like to park the camera, but definitely it did look like you guys maybe went a little bit early, so that's probably the right call. And man, at the end of the day, you know, you run 1, 2, 3, 4 with the teammates. That's still something to hang your hat on. I mean, how'd you feel out there tonight? Like I say, you did look fast.
Yeah, I felt okay. You know, the top went away and never really gained, and that's usually my forte here. So I had to run the bottom there, and I think I was just as fast as Bart, and I got under him there coming out of 4 a little bit. Maybe a lap or 2 I could have got him, but I know I was holding Sam up because I could hear him behind me. I mean, I was focusing on trying to not get up into Bart coming down the front straightaway and stuff, and I heard Sam. So you know, I was probably a 4th place car, I guess, maybe 5th place because God knows what Blake was doing behind us. But you know, sometimes part of it, you know, you start up front and. You know, you got to get around the cars, and I don't know what happened between the heat. I felt like a rocket in the heat, but the feature I never really did feel comfortable. But you know, we'll take the 3rd. Again, my apologies everybody for jumping that start. I apologize like 3 times in the race, and that wasn't my deal. I just, like I said, I'm not going to win like that. I'm going to win by earning it, and you know, these guys earned it. They probably would have passed me anyway, especially that Morano dude. I tell you know how tough he is, and then good to see Bart back. But hey, FTM sweep, and Actually, top 4, or did Blake get Sam there at the end? I didn't see.
No, he got fourth. He got fourth, but you guys kicked Blake to fifth.
Okay, no, good top 4. But I'll tell you, the real win, Shaggy, is the Hometown Heroes. I mean, we've gone to this big track setup, and you could see the numbers. You know, we were what, talking to 8 cars there when we were doing Husit's there last season, and now I think the lowest car count's what, 18, 19, and we've been in the 20s all the other time. So I like this 4-track revolving door. We'll go back to Williams Grove next week, and then Port Royal again, and then USA again, and we'll finish here in Knoxville. So I like this. The sprints, love running here. These 358s, yeah, you got to hold the foot to the floor, but still, it's very technical because if you mess up a little bit, you're going to lose some speed. So, but I like what's happening in the Hometown Heroes, and I'm glad you're having some fun broadcasting it.
Yeah, man, definitely. These 20-car fields are nice to see again. But hell of a run, man. Congratulations on the third. Who you want to thank before you get out of here? And well, I know you're a busy man tonight. Good luck at your Knoxville Nationals.
Yeah, no, thank you. First of all, Flatline Racing Bodies for sponsoring Wednesday. If it wasn't for their help, ShaggyTV wouldn't be here to do this. And the guys at Full Throttle Motorsports, thanks to them. I sent the link to my dad and Megan. Hopefully they're watching as well. And yeah, I would love to run the 360s here, but we got a date. Me and Gavin got a date somewhere else. And Andrew Regal, who sponsors us here at Coast to Coast, he sponsored our Super Dirt Modified Week. He's going to sponsor our Knoxville Nationals that we got coming up in 2 weeks. But, I'm starting third in a B main with 2 to qualify and a 98 car field. And my goal is to make the A main, so I got to go pursue it. I just got to pursue it.
Well, hey, Dino, congratulations on a great run, man. And looking forward to talking to you again later in the week.
All right, Shaggy. Thanks a lot, man. Take care.
Dean Reynolds bringing home P3, and now we're going to bring up the man who finished one spot up the road here. And William, it seemed like you were going to be that guy for a little bit, man. And then all of a sudden, the top went away, bottom came in. And, man, you just got hung out up top. But at the end of the day, good P2, man. And 1, 2, 3, 4 for the team, so you got to be pretty pumped.
Oh, yeah, it was a good race. Yeah, I told everybody Anthony won the bottom, so I was like, I'm going to give it to you. I said, I feel like the top's going to come in. Everybody's like, you're a liar. I'm like, no, I'm giving it to him. So went up there, and I figured the bottom would just go away and the middle would come in, and I could slide my way up to the top, but it never did. Maybe 40, 50 lap race, they would have done that, but it is what it is, and had fun.
Yeah, I mean, you know the drill. A lot of these things, it's all about where you kind of start in the heat race, how you're going to do. But you go out there, man, quick time, so you got to start fourth. Were you worried? I mean, a green track, not easy to pass in the heat race, man, but you got it done.
No, I mean, I'm always good here at Knoxville. Volusia, I'm pretty good at these 2 tracks, and you just got to know, I mean, it's all about seat time with these tracks here. That's where I test and tune at whenever I'm doing setups. So, I mean, I guess I need to do that a little more around the rest of the tracks. But, yeah, I feel comfortable here no matter what I'm doing.
Well, hey, William, I'm looking at your car, and I have the funniest thing I just noticed. Whoever did whoever did your paint, I do see that I'm on there. Beside where you're sitting, it says, does it say Trevor Giroux? I think it does. Yeah, dude, it's confusing the heck out of me. It's so funny because I was like, wait, I'm talking to William, not Trevor, because I almost said Trevor because I read it on the car. I swear to God, it's so funny. But
I'll have to look at it.
Yeah, man, it's great. I've got like the perfect view of it here. But William, man, at the end of the day, you start fourth, drive this thing up to second, and a 1, 2, 3, 4 for the team. Hell of a run, man. You got anybody you want to thank before you get out of here?
Vortex Graphic for the wrap. Teammates at Swan Speed Shop, Stu Pro Performance. Gripx.com, Dean Dirt Car Series. You've put it on.
Well, hey, hell of a run, William. And man, if I see you in the sprint cars, good luck, brother.
Yeah, I'll be in there.
William Watson bringing home P2, and now we'll bring up the man who knows. What am I? God dang it!
Oh my God!
I know, dude. God. I want to curse myself out even. I know it's ridiculous, man. Oh man, everyone wants to say, they complain, can't pass here, can't do this, can't do that. Man, you got to start in the middle of a pretty good feature here, fifth. That's not an easy spot to start. Inside row 3, you still drive this thing up to the front, man. I mean, how fast did you feel tonight?
I was actually really surprised on how well the bottom was gripped up. I couldn't believe it. And I went down there. I was running that slider line there under Bart, going into 1 and 2. I was really gaining on him, and then just one lap, I decided, I'll hook the berm coming out of 2 and see if it grips up, and it did. And I was like, okay, that's a little surprising. So yeah, we'll take that, and kept working on it. And I got around Bart, and then a caution came out, and I was like, there you go. You know where to go now. Just stick it down on the bottom and just stay there. He's like, I can't run down there. It's not comfortable. I was like, all right, I'm gonna have to take that one and go then, because it's fast. So, but that was actually probably the first time I actually raced Bart for like 15 laps straight. We haven't really gotten much of a chance to race together a lot lately, so that was a lot of fun.
Well, I know you guys, like, I've even sat in with you some races. It's not like you guys are chatterboxes. You're normally pretty quiet when we're racing. But Clay, I know, you start in the back. It's a little easier to pass guys. But, man, he was doing it on the bottom pretty early on. Was he feeding you guys any of that information to maybe, get you to try the bottom a little earlier? Because, man, he had a lot of success down there, too.
Clay really can't talk because he doesn't have any buttons on his on his steering wheel. So he uses a steering wheel out of his race car. So he doesn't have any buttons to talk until under caution, and even then he still doesn't really talk that much. But yeah, it was I just trying. I hate running the top, so I had to figure something out.
Well, man, I've watched you use the bottom everywhere else, so why not here too? And it gets you up to the front and brings you home another checkered flag. Hell of a run, man. Congratulations. 1, 2, 3, 4, man. And you led the way. Heck of a run. Who you want to thank?
I got to thank my wife Sherry, the boys at FTM, Super Dirt Car, Swan Speed Shop, High Mom Lens, DJ Sim Shop, Vertex Graphics, Extra Installation, ShaggyTV. Shaggy for doing the broadcast. Everyone at Coast to Coast. Give a shout out to Bill Calder. I saw he's back. He's a little under the weather again here, so hopefully, Bill, you get better soon. You get back out here racing with us.
Yeah, definitely, man. Bill, huge part of this thing, and we love him for all he's done for us.
Bill does all up behind the scenes.
Oh yeah, more than anyone could know. Definitely, but heck of a run, Anthony, and hopefully, I'm talking to you after the sprint car race here, man.
Yeah, man, we're gonna try. We're gonna be rolling over here as soon as you go live here. So. As soon as you're ready, we'll be going.
Yep, I'll cut the intermission short even. As soon as I get there, I'll load it up. So be ready. Have fun, man.
All right, thanks a lot, buddy.
You heard me tell him I'll cut it when I get there, so don't expect the full intermission. We're going to cycle it over, and we'll be right back here with the 360s at the Knoxville Raceway. Stick around.
It's time for another edition of RSN Trackside, powered by Bob Johnson Auto Group on Rock Sports Network. Gets on the champion, trying to be a
bit of a hiatus. So let's get right when we were talking about it.
Let's do this, man. We're back. It's time to play on the Coast to Coast Racing Network. We're at the Knoxville Raceway for part 2 of your Flatline Racing Bodies Hometown Heroes at the Knoxville Raceway. Right now, 14 guys on the banner, so I would think 2 heat races of 7 apiece would most likely be the medicine here for this. Not too sure. It'll determine as it goes on. I am not the almighty. We're seeing 2 of the almighty swinging around out here right now. We got the preacher wheel in this 20 machine. Anthony Morano had just got in the wall in front of him. I mean, expect those 2 to just be duking it out, swinging hammers here at the Knoxville Raceway. This is going to be a good one, and I imagine Anthony probably pulled off the racetrack. Yes. He saw that we were live with a little bit of a delay. We're going to go racing now, or qualifying, I should say. I'm going to mute myself, blow my nose really quick. And we'll be qualifying here. So make sure don't go anywhere. Have to see who pulls out on the racetrack here first. Looking like it's going to be the 7 of Bob the Good. Let's see, the Casey's number 7 machine. Bob the Good swings it into 1. That's a good line for Bob. I mean, that thing is settled still right there through the center. Doesn't lose the rear end through 3 and 4. This is going to be a good lap for Bob. 15.586 for the 7 of Bob the Good, who after a couple guys had gone in was still sitting at the top. Anthony Morano just edges him out. But Randy Shreves, purple, the 56, like a bat out of hell, storms to the top of the charts. But Anthony Morano says, Shaggy, wait a second. I'm going to pick it up a little bit. Randy purple through 3 and 4. What's it going to be? Randy Shreves. Not going to do it, Anthony Morano, the man right now, but this could all be for naught. As the Dark Knight, does he get to the top? Yes, he does. Gavin Chatham. Quit time for the high side banger. Dang me. You guys didn't get to see the lap times. You know, somebody needs to call me. Yell at me when that happens. You can see. Gavin Chatham did have it. Shame on me. I remembered the qualifying bar. As we take a look at the starting grid here, heat race number 1. Row 4 to the outside, Kelly Wheeler in the 110. To the inside, the 444, Scott Rayome. Row 3 to the high side banger, Patrick Spangler. To the inside, the 513 of the Brewerton Beast, Jeff Barker. Row 2 to the outside, the 99 of Gavin Chatham to the inside, the 56 of Randy Shreves. Row 1 for heat race number 1. Winner will start on the pole for tonight's A main to the outside, the 23 of Bart. William Watson, and starting on the pole, the Can-Am Racing Team number 7 of Bob DeGood. Bob DeGood, man. He is a guy who, 2 seasons ago, I think he did get most improved driver. I mean, he kind of shot out of nowhere. Bob has really found the handle on these sprint cars. You're going to put him on the front row here at the Knoxville Raceway. It may be the 7's time to shine here. Can he get a nose in front of that 23 coming out of 2? That's going to be the big deal. Needs to get the clean air. You want all that downforce on the top of that wing. You want this thing to handle. Have to see if he's got what it takes as we roll through 3 and 4 for the final time. The green flag is high and it's set to wave as we have 6 laps to play at the Knoxville Raceway. Bob DeGood drops the hammer and we're underway. 6 laps to play. William Watson rips it off the top. New leader right away is Bob DeGood. First to 5th there. Couldn't get the handle. He's going to fall on back. Is that 39 of the high side banger, Patrick Spangler, upstairs screaming, but now wants to get underneath that 56. Tries to get to the bottom. Can't do it as the high side banger trying all different mixes to get that thing up to the front as Gavin Chatham maybe tries to cut a rug under his teammate here. In the 23, Bart going to shut the door, goes to the bottom, 4 laps to go. Single file all around the racetrack here as you see the top 7 in line here. Patrick Spangler, the first guy to drop down to the bottom. The 39, he was shopping for 3rd, but Randy Shreves, he closed that deal. No more P3 wasn't for sale. Patrick Spangler going to have to go back up top, save up his money a little bit. Gavin Chatham here driving the center through 1. He opens the bottom on entry, but Randy Shreves can't get there. And Gavin Chatham now maybe thinks he's got enough, going to drive to the top, cut underneath. But he looks down. We got the 39. Patrick Spangler up to 3rd. White flag waves, 1 to play. William Watson up front trying to hold off the busy bees behind. We're 3 wide for 2nd as the checkered flag waves. William Watson wins heat race number 1, followed by Gavin Chatham, Patrick Spangler, Randy Shreves, Bob DeGood, Scott Rayome, and Jeff Barker. Take a look, starting grid, heat race number 2. Final heat race of the evening here on the Coast to Coast Racing Network. Matt Barber, Mr. Excitement, rounds out the field inside of row 4. Row 3 to the top shelf, the librarian in the 41. Pat Boyce to the inside, the 055 of Mr. Wednesday Night, Brian Moore Sr. Row 2 to the top shelf, the 32 of the Ant-Man, Anthony Murano. To the inside, the 007 of Sam Bachman. Row 1 for heat race number 2. Starting on the outside, the 161 of the Desert Demon, Terry Landison. Starting on the pole, the 20 of the Salesman, Blake Chapman. See the gang roll off and get ready to go play here. Got to do both those pace laps, though, so no super hurry here. Go refill that drink real quick. You still got a little bit of time. The salesman, he wouldn't want you to eat popcorn with a dry mouth. You need that drink to go with the Galen's popcorn. So get it now. I don't know. You know, Galen's, they got all sorts of stuff. I almost said crap. It is not crap. I can tell you that. I'm about a 6-time buyer. You'd think maybe they'd have some lemonade or something. You know, maybe you go there in store, they might sell lemonade. I imagine one of those cool lemonade machines, you know, where you see the drinks sloshing around, where it shoots it up in the air with a fountain. I'm sure it's a sticky hell of a mess for the person who has to clean that fountain. But it is cool. You know, those were always my favorite drink machines. Just makes it taste better, I think, just by watching it splash around. You're knowing it's all mixed up. It's good. It wasn't just sitting there. But we got 6 laps to play here. Can the front 2 teammates there at KSR hold on? We've got 6 laps to find out. We're underway. Blake Chapman gets a little loose there on the inside. Terry Landis welcomes it. We got the 161 up front for a quick moment. But for how long is Blake Chapman? He clips the bottom one more time. 2 mistakes out of the preacher. And now we got a battle 3 wide. Anthony Morano to the middle. They're beating. They're banging. They're slanging. The 32 to the front here. Anthony Morano started 4th. Took him a lap and a half to get to the lead. And now the Ant-Man says good night. Good riddance. Tries to drive off is Terry Landis. Tries to hang on to 3rd with no front wing on that 161. Oh, that has to be a handful there after getting it knocked off. Terry Landis gonna have to be a wheelman. As Pat Boyce takes that 41 and slams the outside wall. Oh man, we're running out of time. 2 laps to go. Here's Anthony Morano crosses the line. Oh, battle for 3rd. Sam Bachman trying to get under the wingless 161 here. Well, he's still got the top wing, no front wing. He's going to get the pass done. And as we roll around through 3 and 4 for that final time, Anthony Morano going to look to win heat race number 2 as he just holds off the preacher. Bachman 3rd, Landis 2nd. Mr. Wednesday Night and Mr. Excitement rounds out the field. Well, Pat Boyce technically, I guess, rounds out the field. We'll shoot the intermission here. We'll be right back with your Flatline Racing Bodies 360 Sprint Car feature. Stick around. We are back live on the Coast to Coast Racing Network. Man, it's about that time. 15 seconds until we get to take a look here at the starting grid for tonight's 25-lap A main. And, man, it is going to be a shootout here in Iowa as the checkered flag waves, warm-ups come to a close. And we get ready to do a little line dancing here in Iowa. We'll have to see who comes away with the checkered flag, but as soon as we can here, we'll take a look at that starting feature lineup. Running out the field inside of row 8, the 110 of Kelly Wheeler, to the top shelf of row 7, the 41 of the Librarian, Pat Boyce, to the inside, the 513 of the Brewerton Beast, Jeff Barker. Row 6 to the high side, the 16 of Mr. Excitement, Matt Barber, to the low side, the 444 of Scott Rayone. Row 5 to the top shelf, the 055 of Mr. Wednesday Night, Brian Moore Sr. To the inside, the 7 of Bob DeGood. Row 4 to the outside, the 161 of the Desert Demon, Terry Landis. To the inside, the 56 of Randy Shreves. Row 3 to the high side, the 007 of Sam Bachman. To the inside, the high side banger, the 39 of Patrick Spangler. Row 2 to the top shelf, the local boy, the preacher out of Iowa, the salesman in the 20 machine, Blake Chapman. To the inside, the 99 of the Dark Knight, Gavin Chatham. Row 1 for tonight's Flatline Racing Bodies 360 Sprint Car A main, to the top shelf, the 32 of the Ant-Man, Anthony Morano, and starting on the pole, the 23 of Bart William Watson. As we roll through 3 and 4 here for the final time, the green flag is set to wave. 25 laps at the Knoxville Raceway. We come down the front stretch for the final time. The green flag waves, we're underway, 25 to play. Oh, they're 3 wide right away. Blake Chapman says, I don't want none of this. Motors off that top shelf, and he's hungry. Looks to the bottom here, wants to get a piece of that 32 as the war rages on behind. Patrick Spangler on the bottom of a 3 wide here once again. William in the middle, Gavin up top. Oh, man, the high side banger doing it low here. Down and dirty, that 39 machine. Really working the inside. Not too sure what happened with Jeff Barker, but he's on pit road. Tough break for the 513 as they're still 3 wide behind. Sam Bachman on the outside here. Welcome the 007 to this party as he tries to cut underneath the 23 of William Watson. The front 2, front 3, front 4, we're staying in line, but here comes Patrick Spangler to the bottom. He wants a little piece of P3. Doesn't throw the slide job. Patrick Spangler keeps it down on the bottom. Thought maybe he'd think about throwing the slider on the entry to 1, but likes the basement. Gonna stay down there. There's still a little bit of moisture. And meanwhile, Blake Chapman here twiddling his thumbs in P2, trying to work a way around the 32 of Anthony Morano. He knows he's got a fast cat behind him. Gavin Chatham up there on the top rope, absolutely throwing a Hail Melon. He is trying to wind this thing up, really working a top groove. Gavin Chatham is upstairs where nobody dares. so close to that wall. I mean, we kind of lose him in the shop there for a little bit, and Blake Chapman is just like a beaver, man, gnawing at that lead. Can he find a way to break the stick here? Throw it in there. Blake gonna reel him in one more time. And as we get to the line, it's under 0.2 of a second here. Battle is on. Terry Landis feeling some pressure here from the 055 of Mr. Wednesday Night, Brian Moore Sr. Terry trying to get up there and dance with his teammate a little bit. You got to wonder, is he plugging any information away from the kid? Is he asking him, hey, can I do this? Can I do that? Or is he just letting him focus here as there's a war behind? Patrick Spangler gets to third for the time being, but Gavin Chatham, slide job for the lead. Patrick cuts back down to the bottom. Gavin going to try to pinch him down here. That may kind of screw him here in the off-cut, and it does. Blake Chapman also makes a mistake on the bottom, so Gavin doesn't really have the room. And now welcome Patrick Spangler to the top three, the 39 on the podium. The Training Wheels 39. What can he do? Does he have the time? The answer is, of course, 13 laps to go. You feeling lucky, Patrick? He's within a second, but Anthony Morano just gets better as the track ages. And Blake knows it, man. He knows if he reels him back in, he don't know if he's going to be able to make a mistake like he did again. Not sure if he clipped the berm in 3 and 4. We had kind of missed it. Just saw the end. We see Gavin Chatham and Patrick Spangler, though, absolutely sending it. I mean, Gavin is just Patrick's shadow right now. And all of a sudden, Randy Shreve says, well, might as well make this a table for 5. Ups the reservation. Randy Shreves, he is right here in this picture. Anything happens up front, and he could take this thing. Speaking of, Blake Chapman to the inside. We got a battle for the lead here in Iowa. Slide job. Anthony Morano tries to cut underneath, loses the rear end on the cut down, and Blake Chapman shuts the door. We got a new leader off of 4. Blake Chapman leads the way with 9 to play. Patrick Spangler trying to run down his familiar foe, but there's a car in between. And you know who I mean. That 32 of Anthony Morano right now wedged on the outside. Patrick knows he doesn't have time to waste here. He saw Anthony go low. So he says, fine, I'll slide up. I'll catch this cushion. But then Anthony slid up as well. And Patrick is running out of ways to get around this 32. Trying to get a big run off of 4. Will Anthony shut the door? He does. Patrick saw it coming. Stays up top. Looking for a big run off. Did he find any cookies up there? Oh, Anthony shuts the door. Patrick Spangler to the high side. Oh, man. We got a race on our hands with 6 laps to go. Battle is absolutely on for P2. Anthony Morano just trying to fend off the champion. Or former champion, I should say. Wasn't last year's champ, but Patrick Spangler, no stranger to the 360 sprint car, and he is trying to will that thing around Anthony Morano. All of this hard battling has allowed the Preacher to will that lead up to over a second. And you got to think, without a caution, Blake Chapman will probably have this thing wrapped up here. But the battle's still on for 2nd through 4th. Patrick gets in the wall. That allows Gavin to sneak underneath. Patrick with a big run. Holds it at the line, but Gavin Chatham, does he slide up top, shut the door? The answer's for sure. Patrick Spangler now. Oh, Gavin shut the door. Patrick got in the back of him, then checked up, let him save it. Patrick says good night, good riddance, pulls this thing to the inside, and he is all done with this show at the Knoxville Raceway as we've got a lap and a half to play through 3 and 4. Blake Chapman looking for this white flag. 1 lap to go. Blake Chapman dances up high, goes down low through 3 and 4. Blake Chapman, tip your cap to the preacher. He wins another one at the Knoxville Raceway. Blake Chapman wins, followed by Anthony Morano, Gavin Chatham, Randy Shreve, Sam Bachman, Bart Watson, Matt Barber, Bob the Good, Mr. Wednesday Night, and Scott Rayome rounds out the top 10. What a finish there. A couple cautions in the beginning, but man, oh man, tough break for the 39 of Patrick Spangler. Doing all he could do to get around, just got kind of snookered there behind. Didn't want to do it like that, maybe suffered some damage and pulled that thing to the inside. But great race here on the Coast to Coast Racing Network. We're going to let these guys catch their breath, and we'll see if we can't get an interview here with our top 3. I also, shame on me, I said a couple cautions in the beginning. There were no cautions. Jeff Barker had that incident early on where he had to go in the pits, but no caution flag flew. And we went flag to flag here, so they definitely needed every bit of that rest here. Grab a drink. Try to soothe those nerves over as we'll wait for Gavin Chatham here. No, he's got some racing he wants to do tonight as well, I think, with Dino. Gavin, man, I know you got some racing here you want to do tonight, so we'll make this quick. But boy, oh boy, man, you arguably watched the best show in the house there, sitting fourth, Anthony and Patrick going back and forth. I mean, what were you thinking? I know you wanted to get a piece of that, but boy, man, it's dangerous.
Yeah, it's tough when the track's real gripped up and it's real tacky. So it's kind of only like one line or whatever. And car felt really good. We were running good, and we had speed keeping up with those guys. And you just had to pick your moments just right. And it's kind of hard to make passes when guys are basically nose to tail, and obviously you want to make clean passes and do it the right way. So ultimately, it was a good run for us. Good third place finish. Probably should have made a little bit of an more aggressive move in the heat race to get me on the front row for the feature, because there's just no bottom. There was maybe a bottom for a couple laps, but that's about it. But all in all, yeah, it was great racing up front there. It was fun to be a part of it, and a good solid third place finish.
Yeah, I mean, 25 green flag laps, can't ask for much more than that, Gavin. And to bring home another 2 teammates showing on the podium, I mean, I think this is the 3rd week in a row you guys have gotten 5 out of the 6 spots. That is another great night, man. Congratulations on the P3. I'll let you give your thank yous, and then I know you got to go race, man. Good luck at Knoxville some more.
Thanks, I appreciate it. It's gonna be tough. First, got to win the B main and take it one step at a time. Well, first we'll go for the B main and try to win it, and get ourselves in the show, and then just work ourselves forward.
Do you know how many are making it in from your B main? I'll try to click that thing on. I'm not doing anything after this.
So it's there's 4 B mains, and top 2 in each B main make it. So there'll be eight cars qualifying, 2 out of each B main, so out of 4 B mains. So our B main's about to kick off here shortly, so hopefully we can do well. And I think the best we can start in the feature is 17th. So, but anything's possible. 50 laps at Knoxville, and hopefully we'll be able to work our way forward. Hopefully, but first we got to make the show. First things first, let's make the show.
Yeah, man. I'm serious. I'm gonna put that thing on after this. Good luck, brother. I'll be rooting for you. You and Dino, go get him.
Thanks, Shaggy. Appreciate it. And I just want to thank you for doing an awesome job with the broadcast. Coast to Coast Racing, Flatline Racing Bodies, for sponsoring Hometown Heroes. I want to thank all the admin, all the sponsors, everybody else that's involved with Coast to Coast, allows us to come out here and put on a good show and race each other week in and week out. And I just want to thank Full Throttle Motorsports. Shout out to Anthony on the podium. That's an awesome job for him. He's getting faster and faster in each week. Full Throttle Motorsports, Swan Speed Shop, Super Dare Car Series, Northeast Outlaw Motorsports, Chatham Motorsports, Mike Schick Motorsports Design, Velocity Race Design. Thanks for all the sponsors, all the support. I just want to thank the fans for coming out and watching these races, and I hope we always put on a good show for y'all. And I just want to thank my fans as well for coming out and supporting me.
Yeah, and screw you for making him faster in these sprint cars. That's the last thing we needed.
you know, he's doing pretty good. Yeah, sorry for giving everybody another guy to worry about in sprint cars, but no, he's been very impressive, and that's just not him, but all the guys are getting better step by step. It's not an overnight process, but this team and everybody on this team keeps their head up high, and they keep trying to learn, and I have a lot of respect for them to do that, to step into a car that they're pretty much not comfortable with, and coming out here and trying to be better, and I'm glad to help them and hopefully get them up on the podium or even some wins sometime soon.
Well, hey, man, teamwork makes the dream work. Hell of a job over there. Congratulations on the third. Go get them tonight.
All right, thanks, Shaggy. Appreciate it.
Gavin Chatham got a big race there over on the Regal Promotions page. You'll want to find them after this. I'm dead serious. That's where I'm going to go. You'll see this account. Tune in and jump in that chat box. We'll root those guys on. But for the time being,
Quick time!
I knew it was coming. All right, there we go. We'll talk to the Ant-Man, Anthony Morano. Man, dude, what can I say? 25 laps, green flag, and I'm telling you, you had the hardest battle on your hands. I mean, fighting off Blake for so long, then you got to hold off Gavin and Patrick. What is going through your head right now, man? That is a hard-fought P2.
Yeah, that's a whole lot of I'm a modified guy racing against the best in the business in the sprints here, and let's see how I match up. But yeah, it was thought I was doing all right, and then I got little messed up a little bit in 3 and 4, and Blake got on my inside, and I tried cutting out of underneath him coming out of 2, and then I got in the slick and lit up the rear tires, and that was that. So just tried to do anything I can to try to reel him back in and see if I can pull something out of my hat, and didn't get very far with that one. And saw Gavin and Patrick on. I was like, oh crap, better really figure something out, and try to keep going, at least finish second, and keep doing that. So definitely take second to the company I was in, that's for sure.
Yeah, I mean, you got to. And to be honest with you, were you surprised that there wasn't a bottom, maybe like there wasn't that 358? I was kind of shocked, I mean, not a lot of cars. So I thought the track would leave you with a bottom. But, man, you kind of had to throw that slider. I mean, this was almost as one lane as it gets. I mean, you won't say it. I'll say it for you. But it was not easy to race tonight.
Yeah, I was able to get right at the bottom there early in 3 and 4, but that went away pretty quick.
Yep. Well, at the end of the day, man, I mean,
2, there was nothing down there though. There's 1 and 2 was just you were either running a slider or you were ripping the lip the whole way around.
No, yeah, we saw Blake try the bottom through 1 and 2, and I mean it was a mess. I thought he was honestly going to get passed by Gavin. Yeah, I thought those two were fixing to get him there. I mean, he had a big hiccup on the bottom, and he learned his lesson real quick, got right up to the outside. But, man, you said it better than I did. Those guys around you, they really are. They're the best we have. And for you to hold them off, I mean, 2 out of those 3, that was a hell of a run. And you need to give yourself a pat on the back. Good job on the P2, Anthony. Who you want to thank?
Thanks a lot, buddy. I got thank my wife Sherry, the boys over at FTM, Super Dirt Car, Swan Speed Shop, High Mom Lens, DJ Sim Shop, Vertex Graphics, Expert Installation, Casper Flagstone, ShaggyTV, Flatline Racing Bodies for coming out and sponsoring the night for us. Shaggy for doing the broadcast over at Coast to Coast.
Well, hey man, hell of a run, and go read on your teammates, brother. They got a big night here.
Yeah, man. Thanks a lot, buddy.
Anthony Morano bringing home P2, and now we're going to bring up the man of the hour. Took the week off last week, got a little busy, but man, oh man, your hometown track, arguably, and it took you a little bit. Not an easy racetrack to pass on at all. I saw you work the bottom, and man, that almost went terribly wrong, almost fell back to third, maybe fourth again, but you're able to get back up to the top. I mean, how did you just keep plugging away and eventually wear down that 32?
Yeah, I just kind of kept searching for different lines at the beginning. Like you said, I went and tried the bottom of 1 and 2 that one time, and when I was running up top, it didn't feel great. I could tell there was definitely some speed up there, but I didn't feel great up there. So I went down low, and I could tell about halfway through the corner, I'm like, yeah, I'm not going to do this again. Like you said, I almost got passed running that line, but yeah, the slider line really felt good in 3 and 4. I got off of just running the bottom in that corner and started running more of a deep slider where I was really sending it into the corner on the bottom and then coming out and hitting the grip out of the corner up top, which is working really well. And then, Anthony got stuck there one time in 3 and 4 running that middle of the top, and we were able to pull along right alongside him there. And then 1 and 2, we were able to run that deep slider like we were doing in 3 and 4, and that really stuck too. So I just decided to stick with that, running that line, and that ended up working out really, really well for us.
Yeah, man, we literally, right before you talked about that, we had the perfect view of that, running off the nose, kind of looking back at your windscreen. And, man, it looked like Anthony, were you expecting him to cut back under you after that slider? Because it looked like, man, he tried, and I don't know if you got the look yet, but he just got a little loose there, cutting through the slick. But were you expecting, maybe a slider battle? Were you surprised when you got it done in one set of corners?
Yeah, definitely. This is such a slider-friendly track. I figured, we'd be going back and forth at least a little bit. But, he was telling me he was spinning the tires real bad, and I figured that was the case when he tried to cut down. And as I saw he wasn't inside of me, I had to take that line away in 3 and 4. And once we were able to do that, we were able to really build a pretty good lead. And I really wasn't worried at all about that line going away. It still felt really good from the moment I started running it to the very last lap. So not something that you usually see here at Knoxville. Usually it's a little more racy, but when you're starting up front, because you sucked real bad in qualifying and then did okay in the heat race, it works out for you.
Yeah, and I know you're going to be modest, but man, maybe out in the Midwest, a 2-second lead is a pretty big lead. But where I come from, that's a butt kicking. I mean, and you did that in about 10 laps. You really flexed those muscles when you got the clean air, and you showed the guys who the quickest dog was tonight. So hell of a run, Blake. Congratulations on that big win, man. And you know the drill by now. Who we want to thank, kid?
Yeah, absolutely. Got to thank the parents for watching. I got to thank all the guys down at KSR. Got to thank Terry for running with me every week, and I know he had some troubles tonight, so unfortunately for him, his run was cut short. But I got to thank Preston at Epsilon Sprint Wraps and Andy at AJ Custom Creations. Got to thank Flatline Racing Bodies for sponsoring this division, of course. And of course, I got to thank Galen's Gourmet Popcorn. They got some of the best stuff out there. You can try it out for yourself and go over to their website. And don't forget to use code CART, that is CART, at checkout for 15% off some of their very delicious popcorn. I got to thank Maurer Farm Management. Got to thank Steve at Steve's Custom Golf Clubs. And of course, I got to thank everyone involved in putting this league on, and you for doing the broadcast, Shaggy.
Hey, hell of a run, man. And how'd we do in the street stock last weekend?
Oh, well, we didn't get to run it. It rained out. So we're supposed to run it tomorrow night, though. So hopefully they can maybe rain tomorrow night, too. So hopefully the rain stays away.
Well, hey, man, we'll do the rain dance for you. Good luck tomorrow night. Give him hell, Blake.
Thanks, Shaggy.
Blake Chapman, your winner here of your Flatline Racing Bodies 360 Sprint Car finale on your Hometown Heroes, man. 25 laps, green flag. You wanted the best. You got it here tonight. Blake Chapman brings it home. Welcome back to the podium after a short break for the preacher. That's going to do it here on the Coast to Coast Racing Network. I'm Zach Chapman from ShaggyTV saying hit that like button, hit that freaking subscribe button, don't miss a show, and have a good night.